What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another LEGO YouTube video. As of recording this, it is December 31st, which means 2023 is coming to a close. And so I figured what would be a fun idea is to go ahead and take a look back at 2023 and go over every single LEGO set that I bought this year. I feel like every year that I continue collecting LEGO, the next year is way bigger than the previous one, and that was definitely true for this year. We saw so many expansions in the LEGO room. Even before my YouTube days on TikTok, we had huge expansions for the LEGO room, and I'm very excited to go over every single LEGO set I bought and maybe give some sneak peeks as to what's in store for 2024. And so, starting off the year in January, I ended up getting the new Quinjet from the Avengers movie, which was a great start to the year, and then we also got the new Ghost Rider mech that came out alongside that, and then we got the Miles Morales versus Morbius car set, and then of course, kind of the big highlight of that January 1st haul was of course the new Jazz Club modular building, which is a solid addition to the modular buildings and definitely one of my favorites of recent years. And then I also added the TIE Bomber to my display. We've been waiting for an updated TIE Bomber for years and years, and 2023 finally delivered it for us, and it did not disappoint. I still think it holds up at the end of the year. And then I did get the new 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack and the Tusken Raider Brickhead, as well as the Boba Fett's Starship Microfighter, and that was kind of the end of my January haul. And then later on in the year, in February/March era, we got the Commander Cody and the Captain Rex helmets, so I added both of these guys to my LEGO Star Wars helmet display, which was really fun to do. And then I also, at the same time, bought the Dark Trooper helmet off of my brother to try and finish off the helmet series because I did want to collect them all. And then I also bought the Luke Skywalker helmet from him at a nice discounted price. It was already built, but you can't really beat a super discounted price. And then later on in the year, in like March, April, I decided to get the Princess Leia Boushh helmet, which is a solid addition to the lineup, just not one of my favorites out of everything that they did release. And then I did finally order the Nano Gauntlet to go alongside my Iron Man helmet, which was a very long-awaited addition to the collection. It was always one of those sets that I wanted to add to the collection, but just never did until April. And then April is when the Super Mario Bros. Movie came out, so I really liked all of the Mario Bros. Sets that they released, so I started off my Mario collection with the question mark block. And then this was also around the same time that I decided to buy the Parisian Restaurant to add to my modular display. I really thought it would look cool next to the Jazz Club, which is still where I have it set up today. And then after that, we decided to buy the Mighty Bowser set a few weeks later after the Mario movie had released, and I thought that was a really fun addition to the collection. And then we also got a handful of Super Mario polybags to add to the collection, as well as some of the blind bags and some of the gifts with purchases, which look really nice in the Nintendo display. And then the NES was sold out until like late May, so that's when I actually ended up getting the NES to kind of finish off the LEGO Super Mario display up until the Piranha Plant came out later on in the year. And it's probably my favorite out of all of the LEGO Mario sets, and it was the last one that I did get out of the kind of like original UCS ones prior to the Piranha Plant. And then May 4th, this was my May 4th haul, I got the TIE Interceptor, which was kind of similar to the TIE Bomber, was very overdue in my opinion, and it definitely did deliver. And then this also came with the Fang Fighter from The Mandalorian Season 3. While The Mandalorian Season 3 was kind of meh, the sets released for it were definitely not, in my opinion. And then I also got the Death Star Final Duel diorama for my May 4th haul. It was kind of commemorating 40 years of Return of the Jedi, so I went all out with the Return of the Jedi LEGO sets this year to celebrate that. I also got the Death Star 2 gift with purchase, and then I did get the Death Star Trench Run on sale at Barnes & Noble around this time. But my big haul for May the 4th that I was really proud of, and a set that I had wanted for years and years and years, and since it was the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, no better time than now, I decided to get the Ewok Village sealed, and I built that on TikTok for May 4th, and that was really fun. We watched Return of the Jedi, and it was a very nice celebration of the film, and it was fun to put together. And then I also got later on in the month the Endor Speeder Chase diorama to kind of keep the Return of the Jedi celebrations going all throughout Star Wars month, so that was really fun to add next to the Ewok Village display. And then we did get the Endor Heroes brickheads, which includes Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, Princess Leia, and at the very end you also get Wicket, and then you do also get Lando Calrissian in the set too, which was great. And then right after that, in June, I decided to finally pull the trigger on the UCS Millennium Falcon. I had finally found space for it, and this was always a set I wanted for ages, and it just seemed like I would never get it just because of how expensive it was and how demanding it is of your space. But I did finally get it. It was a lot of fun to build it. I built it in about 18 hours, I want to say, and I also got the display plaque from Wicked Brick to help actually make it look better on display, because they don't give you a display plaque, which is kind of disappointing for the set, but oh well. And then also I got the Jabba Sail Barge set to kind of keep the Return of the Jedi celebrations alive here. I think I actually got this before Ewok Village, I think. And then I also got the Desert Skiff Escape to go with it, which also came with the Sarlacc pit and made for a nice little diorama of that one scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke, of course, calls his lightsaber. We also got the Y-Wing from 2012 this year, which was a great addition to the LEGO collection. Another set that I had wanted for some time, but just never pulled the trigger on until this year. And then we also got Ninjago City Markets. June was a huge month for me in the LEGO collection, and so Ninjago City Markets came out this month, or in June, and I added that to the collection. And then we also got this nice skeleton storage head too, which is where I keep a lot of my spare minifigures. And then June also saw the release of the kind of UCS Batcave Shadow Box, which was another very anticipated set for me, though it definitely was not as good as I thought it would be, but still a solid set. And then I did add a few sets to the display in July, including this nice Batboat Harbor Escape with the Deathstroke minifigure, which was a really fun set to put together and add to the display. And then also in late July, we got the Clayface Splat Attack set, which was a lot of fun to put together, as Clayface is one of my favorite Batman villains, and since we don't have a minifigure, this is the next best thing. And then I also added the Justice League. This was my first live stream on YouTube, but I added the Justice League Javelin set with the Darkseid Invasion set here, and it was really fun to put together. Great addition to the collection. And then we also got the Clone Turbo Tank in July, which was another one of those White Whale sets. Has some great minifigures in it, and I always wanted it to go with the ATTE from 2022, but just never had the funds for it, but we finally did get it. And then I also got the Bounty Hunter Gunship in July, which was another really fun set to build and display from Star Wars The Clone Wars, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, so I try and get as many sets from The Clone Wars as I can. And then we also got Luke Skywalker's Land Speeder to add to my Mos Eisley Cantina display, which was really fun to do, so very happy that I was able to add that. And then I almost forgot, but we did get the buildable Grogu, I think earlier on in the year. When, I'm not sure, but I do know I got it this year, so I wanted to include him in this kind of collection overview today. And then in kind of August/late July, we also did get Darth Vader's Castle, which was another one of those sets that I really wanted. This was really the year where I ended up getting all the sets on my wish list that I had made years and years ago, and I think this fits in really well with the collection. We also got the Mandalorians and one Starfighter to kind of go with this Mandalorian display, so I was very happy to finally get my hands on that. It was on sale at Target, so I couldn't resist and finally got my hands on it. And then I bought this set in 2022, but didn't get around to building it until 2023. We built Seinfeld, which is one of my favorite TV shows. I still need to finish watching it, but very nice, and it fits in with the sitcom sets. And then I also got the Kylo Ren and the Sith Trooper brickheads. I also started collecting a lot more of the Star Wars brickheads this year. And then another set I built in late June/July was the Palace Cinema modular building, which is not one of the most highly received modulars, but I still really like it, and it's very nostalgic to me, so I was happy to add it to the collection. And then we also got the UCS Gunship. I bought this off of my brother for a really good deal. However, I kind of regret buying it off of him when I could have bought it new and at a very discounted price when they did the sale with this and the Razor Crest back in October, I think. But oh well, life goes on, and it is a very nice set, and it fits in really well with my Star Wars collection, so I can't really complain too much. And it is retired now, so definitely hard to find nowadays, so I'm happy I have it. And then we also got the Star-Lord helmet, and then we did get a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 sets. I ended up getting the entire wave, which included Rocket Raccoon's ship as well as the new Guardians headquarters. The only reason I got the new Guardians headquarters was for that Groot minifigure, but it was $10, so no big deal really. And then of course the highlight of the wave was the Zoe, the new Guardian ship from Volume 3 and the Holiday Special, and I think this looks really nice next to the other Guardians of the Galaxy sets in my collection. And then back in April, we're kind of going out of order here, I did also get the UCS Hulkbuster from 2018, not the newer one. I'm not really a huge fan of the new one that came out last year, but this one definitely does look really cool in my opinion. And then also in April, we ended up getting the Infinity Gauntlet too. I got this alongside with the Nano Gauntlet, and they were very fun to build and put together, and I think this is an essential part of my LEGO Marvel collection now. And then also later on in the year, I think around like June or maybe May, we got the Mjolnir set, which was a set I had been wanting to get for some time now, and I believe it's retired now, I think, but this will now transition us into the new sets that came out this year. In August, we ended up getting, of course, the Spider-Man No Way Home Final Battle diorama, a must-have for any LEGO Marvel fan in my opinion, and then we also got the Avengers Endgame Final Battle diorama, which looks really cool, kind of underrated. It definitely gets overshadowed by the No Way Home diorama, but it's still a great set in my opinion, though I do prefer the No Way Home diorama. We also got the 332nd Troopers Battle Pack, as well as the Yavin 4 set, which was definitely similar to the Batcave, in which I had like much higher expectations for it, but it's still good, just not everything I hoped it would be. And then I also got, in my opinion, one of the more underrated sets from the year is Captain America's Shield. I got this in mid-August. This was kind of part 2 of my August LEGO haul, and I was very happy to have this in the collection. I think it looks really nice with the other UCS Marvel stuff. And then I also started getting into the LEGO art sets in in August/late July, and we started with the Jim Lee Batman art, and then I also added 2 of the Sith art portraits to my collection, which of course includes this custom 332nd Trooper art portrait, and then the actual Darth Vader one that you do build in the set that you do get instructions for. So I thought those 2 were great additions to the Star Wars art collection, and then we did add some more portraits to it later on in the year. But also in September, we had the Ahsoka wave sets, and we started it off with the Ghost and Phantom 2 set, which is definitely my favorite of the September Star Wars wave, which was definitely one of the best LEGO Star Wars waves ever in my opinion. And then we also got Ahsoka's T2 Jedi Shuttle, which was a fantastic set in my opinion, and then we also got the New Republic E-Wing down here below it, and this of course also came with Shin Hati's Starfighter, which was another cool set. I love how colorful all of the Ahsoka sets are. They're not your standard white and gray Star Wars ships, which is really cool. And then also another great set from the September Star Wars wave, just not as good as the Ahsoka sets in my opinion, is the new Coruscant Guard Republic gunship. Very cool set. I would have preferred a traditional gunship, but this is still cool in my opinion. And then I wasn't really expecting to get this set, but I did because it was on sale and I thought it looked cool. In late September, we ended up getting the Black Panther bust, and underrated set. I think at its sale price right now, it's definitely worth it. Get it before it retires. It's a great set, just a little overpriced, but at that $200 price point, I feel like it's very much worth it. And then in October, we got our one and only Halloween set of the year, which was LEGO Ideas Hocus Pocus, and also one of my favorite sets from the entire year. And I also started getting into LEGO Harry Potter after this, and so we started off with the Gryffindor and the Ravenclaw house banners, and then it wasn't until like late November, I want to say, that I ended up adding these Slytherin and Hufflepuff house banners to the mix. So those definitely completed the display and made it look a whole lot better. And I'm very happy with the final products that we have here. So very happy with this. And then another thing I added to the LEGO collection this year, we got 2 gifts of purchases, the Spooky Pirate Island and Magisto's Magical Workshop, which are down here. So 2 of the gifts of purchases that I really liked from this year. And then also in October, one of the big releases was of course the UCS Venator for the LEGO Star Wars lineup, and I was very, very happy to get this in the collection. I feel like this has been in one of the most like hyped up LEGO Star Wars UCS sets, and it definitely delivers in my opinion. And then also in October, wasn't expecting to get this set, but LEGO out of nowhere just like had this like crazy sale on it, was the UCS Razor Crest. They did double VIP points and like marked it down like $200, I think. So like, how could I not get it? And so very great set. And then I also got in November/late October, we got a Bo-Katan custom art portrait using pieces from the Jim Lee Batman art. And then before the Bo-Katan, I did end up building the custom Boba Fett art, which also uses pieces from the Jim Lee Batman art. And then earlier on in the year, but I still wanted to include it because I forgot, we also did get the Droid Tri-Fighter, I think back in June, I want to say. And then also in November, of this year, one of the first purchases that I did end up getting was the new holiday diorama for LEGO Star Wars, which is definitely a lot better than the advent calendar, in my opinion. I think I kind of prefer this to the advent calendars, in my opinion. And then another one of the big purchases for the month of November was, of course, Diagon Alley, a set I had wanted to get for a while to go with my LEGO City, but just didn't have space for, but I made space in 2023, and I'm very happy with how it looks. It's definitely one of my favorite LEGO sets of all time, a very unique set, and I think you get a lot of value for it. And then some other Harry Potter sets that I ended up getting in the month of November. We got the Thestral Carriage from LEGO Harry Potter, and then I also got a small polybag too. And then in late November, we got this Avengers Taxi Cab gift with purchase, and then of course, we got the Avengers Tower to go with the Avengers Tower Taxi Cab, which is probably my favorite release of the year. This is just such a phenomenal set from LEGO Marvel, and it looks great on display. Definitely better than the Daily Beagle, though both sets, in my opinion, are great releases, and I'm very happy with the final product here. And then we also got the 2024 modular a month early, which is, of course, the newly released LEGO Museum. So I was really happy with this guy, too. A fantastic modular building. It's a bit difficult to integrate into your LEGO City, but it does look really nice. It's kind of like a centerpiece for your modular buildings. And then we also got the Great Wave LEGO set, too. So this was another great set to add to the collection. I really like how it acts as like a backdrop for my Ninjago City display, so I really like that a lot. And then also in the month of November, we ended up getting the Piranha Plant LEGO set from the Super Mario line, which is definitely one of my favorite releases of the year too. It's definitely not as good as the other kind of like expert Super Mario sets, but it is still a worthy addition to the collection, in my opinion. And then also in December, we ended up getting the Hogsmeade Village Visit as a nice little Christmassy LEGO set to add to the LEGO collection, and another set to add to the Harry Potter collection, which I've been getting more into in the kind of like later months of 2023. And then one of my final purchases of the year was, of course, the Beatles Yellow Submarine LEGO set, which was a LEGO set I had been wanting to get for ages and ages, as I'm a big fan of the Beatles, but never got until the very end of the year. But I am happy I did get it. It was kind of my Christmas gift to myself. And then some other LEGO sets that I ended up getting this year that have not arrived as of recording this video, but we will definitely build in 2024, include the Lion Knights Castle, which I'm excited to build, and then also on the way is, of course, the Gringotts Wizarding Bank. So very excited to add both of these sets to the LEGO collection. Those were some of the big sets that I had in mind when doing the final shelf expansion of 2023, and that is everything that I bought this year. So tons and tons of LEGO sets. You never really realize just how much you got until you actually sit down and kind of like look at every single thing that you ended up getting this year, and I think I definitely outdid myself. We got a lot more LEGO than I ever have in the past, but I think it was a great year for the LEGO collection. We made tons of expansions, and I think in 2024, that'll probably be the year that I run out of space and eventually have to kind of hit pause on collecting LEGO, which is probably a good thing considering just how much I was able to add to the collection this year. I think maybe it's a sign to kind of slow down a little bit, but I'm really excited though for all of the additions that we'll have in the new year. There definitely will be some. I don't really think it will be as much as we did this year, as this year I expanded so much because previously I shared a room, but then I got my own room, so we were able to expand like more than half of the room into more displays for LEGO sets, which was definitely a reason as to why this year was so big for my LEGO collection. But that is all for today, so thank you guys so much for watching the video. Definitely leave a like if you did enjoy the video, but thank you guys so much for watching. That is all for today. Peace out. Bye.